Hello everyone and welcome to this round of EdTalks. We have with us today Brett McLean, who's a senior international recruiter at CBU, Cape Breton University. Hi Brett.
Good morning and thank you very much for having me.
Atlantic Canada is a great attraction these days among students. So what are your comments about it?
So Atlantic Canada, of course, I'm a little bit biased, having been born and raised in Atlantic Canada. I think it's a great option for students from India and South Asia for several reasons. But I think what Atlantic Canada offers students is high quality education, but at a very competitive price for the tuition as well as a very competitive price for the cost of living. We know that students today are looking for a good return on their investment, but also for longer term stay options. One thing I think that a lot of people might not know about Atlantic Canada is that on top of the postgraduate work permit, we also have a special immigration stream called the Atlantic Immigration Program. So if students are looking to get a high quality public education, we offer this along with competitive costs of living, I think, compared to other parts of Canada and certainly tuition.
Yeah, excellent. So there's another question which students generally ask us. So we'd like you to give them an answer. Why do students usually choose public institutions in Canada?
This is a great inquiry, I think, for students to have, because I think it shows their genuine concern about what's the best option for them. Within Canada, typically the overwhelming majority of institutions that Canadians go to and where Canadian employers hire from are public universities or public colleges. One of the benefits of studying at a public institution within Canada is that you're assured that the quality is always going to be good and often globally recognized. I think students, when they do look at institutions, they really need to think about three things. The first is what opportunities are for a postgrad work permit if they're looking to stay in the shorter to medium term. If they're looking to study at a graduate level, I think bringing their spouse or perhaps their children is going to be a very important thing. And this is one of the benefits, of course, you do get with a public institution. But I think the third thing, and I would say this is probably the biggest thing I would stress for those 10+2 students, is looking at a co-op. A co-op just simply means cooperative education, but it's going to bridge that gap when you graduate to get a job. Often what we find from students is that in order to get a job, you need experience, and in order to get experience, you need a job. It's a competitive job market out there, and for the students that go to a public university, a co-op is something that's offered only through those.
Okay, so we hear a lot today about the labor market, the skill shortages. So what is the labor market like today in Atlantic Canada? And when students get the PGWP options after they finish their study, how employable are they in these labor shortage areas?
Probably the most significant question we receive is, what are the outcomes after I graduate? And I think kind of to your second question about public institutions, this is where students need to be going to get that recognized degree after they graduate. Now, looking at the labor market within Atlantic Canada, it's very different than perhaps other parts of Canada that might be more focused on agriculture, like the prairies, or perhaps the oil and gas sector, like Alberta. Certainly within Atlantic Canada, what you see a lot of is the health sciences and jobs related to the health industry. We're seeing an increasing number of startup companies coming to Nova Scotia and Atlantic Canada, given the lower cost of starting up there. But I think what you're also going to see is a large tourism industry as well as a large manufacturing industry. I think what students need to know about where they study and where they end up afterward are two different things. Again, I'm a little bit biased, but when you do get your postgrad work permit at a public institution, you can travel anywhere within the country afterward to work. While you're in university, I think it's important to also remember that you're paying to be there. I think it's important to consider how much money it's going to cost, if that's important to you. But the labor market as well is something that I think you really need to understand about what options there are after you graduate.
All right, so I think choosing Atlantic Canada as a study destination should be a great option, right?
For me, I don't think there's any other option. But I would say that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brett. It was amazing listening to you about Atlantic Canada and students choosing that as a study destination. So to you students, please do follow us on all our socials and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay abreast of everything about study abroad. Thank you and see you soon.